permanent secretaries. President Tinubu direct investigation into tanker explosion in Abuja. On the foreign tin, Sudanese army recaptures presidential palace after 2 years of war. And in sports, coach Chile targets winning start as Super Eagles tackles Rwanda in 2026 World Cup qualifier. And now the details. I am Mike James. Lagos Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has sworn in 8 new permanent secretaries into the civil service. The new appointees are Mr. Olanrewaju Bajulai, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Arts, Tourism and Culture, Dr. Mrs. Abiola Idowu, Health, Facility Monitoring and Accreditation, HEFAMA, Mrs. Aderishola Olanrewaju, Citizens Mediation Bureau, Mr. Tajuddin Alao, Ministry of Finance, Mr. Wasiu Agbabiaka, Civil Service Commission, Architect Bolaoki, Urban Development, Ministry of Fiscal Planning, effective 19th of May, Mr. Adebayo Olaika, Wealth Creation, while Mrs. Ajibike Onigbanju will resume as PS, Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, after the retirement of the current PS in the ministry. Governor Sanwo-Olu congratulated the new permanent secretaries who, he said, were picked after a rigorous selection process to promote innovation and excellence in the state civil service. The governor urged them to maintain the highest standard of professionalism, be accountable, exhibit unwavering commitment to good governance, get feedbacks from the people, and ensure excellent service delivery to residents of the state in line with the themes plots agenda of his administration.
The rules demand not just technical excellence, but also a visionary leadership. You must be able to innovate, and you must have unwavering commitment to the ideals of good governance at all times. So as you assume your responsibilities today, I urge you to embrace our administration's developmental agenda with a renewed vigor, and it continues to serve as a guiding light on the blueprint for delivering a sustainable development and prosperity for all Lagosians.
The state head of service, Bode Aguru, stated that the appointment of the new permanent secretaries is born out of the need to revitalize the state policy implementation apparatus for effective service delivery to residents.
I want to admonish you to ensure that you maintain good standing and relationship with the political head of your agency or ministry and all the staff of the respective ministries that you will be deployed to. This will enable you speedily attain your mandate.
In a vote of assurance on behalf of the new permanent secretaries, Mrs. Aderisola Olanrewaju appreciated Governor Sanwo-Olu for finding them worthy to serve in the best public service, pledging their commitment towards ensuring the realization of the themes plots agenda.
We promise that we work among each other that we take these tools and keep the oath to the letter as we have just been sworn. We promise that we do our best in the realization of this administration's things plus agenda towards moving the state forward.
Our correspondent Adiola Akindele reports that so far the Sanwo-Olu administration has sworn in 111 permanent secretaries since inception. The Office of Education Quality Assurance, or EQA, under the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, has engaged key stakeholders in the state education sector to develop an academic calendar for the 2025-2026 session that reflects the views and expectations of all major players. During a preliminary stakeholders meeting, the Supervising Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, Sheson Ogundeko, addressed major education stakeholders, emphasizing the state government's commitment to an effective and structured academic calendar. The Permanent Secretary, who was represented by Director, Basic Education Services Department, Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, Abosede Adumasi, reassured stakeholders that the final academic calendar would be designed to support academic excellence, student well-being, and holistic learner development across Lagos State. He reiterated the government's dedication to an inclusive decision-making process, stating that feedback from stakeholders would shape a sustainable academic structure that enhances learning outcomes. In his address, the coordinating director of OEQA, Remy Abdul, stressed the importance of collaboration in designing an academic calendar that ensures efficiency and stability in Lagos State schools. He acknowledged the commitment of education stakeholders and clarified that the meeting was meant to gather insights, analyze perspectives, and develop strategic options, not to finalize the academic calendar. Attendees included representatives from Lagos State Universal Basic Education Board, LASUBEB, Nigerian Union of Teachers, NUT, All Nigerian Confederation of Principals and Secondary Schools, and CORPS, Association of Primary School Head Teachers of Nigeria, public and private school representatives, parent-teacher associations, examination bodies, and education administrators. The Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, NIMR, has conducted an advocacy visit to Health District 4 to research vended food handlers, and enteric infections in slums and non-slum communities across selected local government areas in Lagos State. The visit to the Valley Office of Health District 4 is part of an initiative which seeks to identify health risks and develop strategies to improve food safety and reduce enteric infections in these areas. Permanent Secretary, Health District 4, Abimbola Bowali, while expressing his appreciation for the brilliant initiative, recalled the past relationships and collaboration with NIMR against the spread of infections through food vendors, promising to collaborate with the research team to ensure the successful conduct of the study. The team lead, who doubles as the acting head of the department, Molecular Biology and Biotechnology, Toyosi Rahim, said the research is aimed at covering selected local government areas like Mainland, Surulere, Alimosho, Oshodi, Solo, and Ikorodu. The federal government, through the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, has kick-started the maintenance and repair works on 32-kilometer road in Bauchi State ahead of the rainy season. FEMA engineer, Bauchi Field Office, Nankwan Joro, who made this known, assured that the federal government is more concerned about the safety of lives of Nigerians plying the roads on a daily basis, and more especially during festive periods. He explained that the projects were under the 2024 budget, stating that even though the contractors delayed reporting to the site, the works were almost completed. Juro stressed that the contractor currently working on the Kari-Yana roundabout, the Jigawa state border, informed the authorities that the project involved the patching of potholes. While hailing the pace at which the contractors were working on the roads, Juro expressed optimism that the project will be completed within the next 1 month. And now to the rest of the stories. President Bola Tinubu has called for a thorough investigation into the tanker explosion that resulted in multiple accidents and loss of lives in Karu, Abuja on Wednesday night. The president condoled with families, members of lost loved ones in the inferno, and added priority treatment to the injured in various medical facilities in the capital city. In a statement signed by the Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, the president directed security agencies, particularly those concerned with road safety, to pay closer attention to traffic around the capital city's entry and exit point. President Tinubu prayed for the souls of the departed and the grace of the Almighty God to comfort families that have lost their loved ones. About 30 vehicles were raised on Wednesday when a petrol-laden tanker exploded on Karu Bridge along the Abuja Yaya Kefi Road in the Federal Capital Territory, resulting in a massive fire. The The Minister of Steel Development, Shoaib Abubakar Audu, has announced plans to partner with the Ministry of Defense and the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria, DICON, to produce military hardware for the Nigerian Armed Forces and other security agencies in the country. Speaking during the visit to the National Steel Raw Materials Exploration Agency in Kaduna, Audu said a memorandum of understanding had already been drafted and shared with DICON pending presidential approval. The minister also revealed that Nigeria imports about $4 billion worth of steel annually, stressing the need for important substitution to reduce pressure on foreign exchange. Audu described NSRMEA as a cornerstone in the federal government's plan to grow Nigeria's economy to $1 trillion by 2030. In some foreign news, military leaders say Sudanese army has recaptured the presidential palace in Khartoum from the rival paramilitary rapid support forces. The army appears poised to regain control of the capital 2 years after it was kicked out by its paramilitary rivals known as the RSF. The paramilitary group is yet to comment. Khartoum is where the country's brutal civil war began nearly 2 years ago and where some of its biggest battles were fought. The RSF has held most of the capital as well as the west of Sudan since the start of the war. According to the UN, the war has caused the world's largest humanitarian crisis, with both the RSF and the army accused of widespread human rights abuses. Reclaiming Khartoum would be a huge victory for the Sudanese armed forces and a pivotal movement in the conflict. The army has also made gains in parts of central Sudan in recent weeks. And over to sports news, Eric Chelle will look to begin his reign in charge of the Super Eagles on a winning note, as the Malian leads the Super Eagles for the first time in a 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier against the Amavubi of Rwanda at the Amahoro Stadium, Kigali, today. Chelle was appointed head coach of the three-time African champions in January. The Super Eagles set up camp in Kigali for the crucial game on Monday. The team had 3 training sessions before the game and the players are ready for action. And tonight's encounter is a must-win for the Super Eagles, going by the team's position in the Group C table. Nigeria occupies 5th position and 3 points from 4 games. The game will kick off at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. That was our news at 10. Just before we go, stay alive. Make use of pedestrian bridges where available. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms. On X, Traffic Radio 961. Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs. It's live on YouTube, Traffic Radio 961. And you can also visit our website at www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration empowered over 1,000 residents at the 3rd phase of the Mega Empowerment Program? Well, you can get more details. It's on the Legacy Government website and to end the news. Here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has sworn in 8 new permanent secretaries into the civil service. President Bola Tinubu has called for a thorough investigation into the tanker explosion that resulted in multiple accidents and loss of lives in Cairo, Abuja on Wednesday night. We also told you that Sudanese army has recaptured the presidential palace in Khartoum from the rival paramilitary rapid support forces. And in sports, Eric Chelle will look to begin his reign in charge of the Super Eagles on a winning note as the Malian leads the Super Eagles for the first time in a 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier against the Amavubi of Rwanda at the Amahoro Stadium, Kigali, today. And for contacts with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast. It was compiled by Abiola Fagbolagun. Thank you for listening, Lagos. My name is Mike James. Beautiful morning to you.